everybody. My name is Kanat Baikenov, and this is speaking assignment number 1, formal presentation. Today I will talk about the progress on this semester's writing assignments. So I will talk about the feedback on writing assignment number 1 and writing assignment number 2, which I received from the professor and my group mates. I will describe some common mistakes which I have did and the improvements which I've done after this course. So first, let's begin with assignment number 1. Here I had to write a summary of an article, and this is the name of the article which I have chosen. And let's begin with the introduction. And this is the way I have written the introduction. You can see that I just have written the name of the article and the name of the authors. And according to the feedback which I have received from the professor, she says that it's a fairly good introduction, but it would be more effective to start with a topic sentence about the theme in general. So this is the first mistakes which I did. Another problem which I had writing assignment number 1, it was grammar mistakes, especially articles. I have made a lot of mistakes by putting wrong articles in wrong places, or generally I just forgot about using these articles at all. So grammar was my second mistake. Third, I've used singular and plural forms, so I didn't pay attention to some words. I didn't pay attention to when to write singular or plural form of the word. Another mistake was I didn't support my ideas sometimes. Here I had a sentence where I didn't cite any source, so I didn't provide any evidence to support this information. And what I did after these mistakes, which I found in my draft version after receiving the feedback, first of all, I have rewritten the introduction. And this is the way I have written the introduction on my final version. 21st century is an era of technology and information. The education sector should take advantage of the opportunities that computerization provides. In the research article, the authors Transparency and Kimes write about using of technology in education. Blah blah blah. So I have received positive feedback about this introduction. We have started your summary very well with a catchy and interesting opening statement. Another improvement which I did, I've cited all sources. So I have supported my sentence with an evidence from the citation. I paraphrased the sentences where I had plagiarism. For example, here you can see Thornton showed that I had some plagiarism mistakes. I have rewritten this, made it better. And generally, if you talk about the reflection of first assignment, I had mistakes in articles, using of single plural forms. I didn't support the ideas. I had a very high score at Turnitin, 46% of plagiarism, and I didn't have any conclusion in my assignment, in my task, according to group mate feedback. It would be better to include it. Now, what I did, I corrected all mistakes about articles. I've corrected mistakes about singular and plural forms. What I can say about these points that I've made an improvement here. I started to understand where to put articles and where not to put articles, which is used where. It's one of my biggest problems since school. I supported all the ideas. I paraphrased all the citations, paraphrased all the sources, and the Thornton score showed 0%. So I can see that I succeed in this point. And I didn't include a conclusion. I think I have to more work here to make it better. Now let's talk about second assignment, definition essay. The topic which I have chosen was quantitative research, and I did begin with the introduction. After receiving of my first feedback about introduction of first assignment, I understand that the introduction must start with some interesting points. So I have written this in this way: the world is full of different unanswered questions and phenomena, and I have received a very positive feedbacks from professor and my group mates. Very good in the hook very good hook and introductory sentence. Uh, the introduction has a hook that makes the reader more interested in further reading. So I can say that I have made significant progress in writing introduction. I had some citation mistakes. I didn't know how to cite this kind of sources in this case, so I've rewritten it in this way so it became better. And what else? Which mistakes I've made in the second assignment here? For example, uh, I didn't support my first sentence about quantitative analysis. So there was no connection between these two sentences. So this sentence does not clearly support the previous one. So I have rewritten this right in this way. I wrote it in this way. In quantitative analysis, numerical data is an important point, and people often think that it is used only to display statistics. However, this is untrue since quantitative research has a very wide range of applications, and by using suitable instruments for data collection and the correct design of the study, it can even be used in such branches as psychology or education. So you can see there is some improvements which I did in this assignment. I support my arguments. Also, here I've give some examples about types of quantitative research. I need to provide more information about these types, so I've written this in a hurry and this is how I written it in the second time. So, for example, the first type is when a researcher needs to find a quantitative answer. In simple terms, this is finding and outputting statistics. For instance, what is the average age of teachers that work in secondary schools, and blah 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 blah. And I received the good feedback, good use of examples. They really help to clarify the definition. So I think that here I've supported my all the types of uh, quantitative research by using examples and supporting sentences. And in second assignment I included a conclusion which I didn't have in first assignment. Here, how did I write it? In conclusion, quantitative research is one of the most important research tools for finding answers to various questions. It is connected with mathematical calculations and is used in exact sciences, as well as in many other areas, and there are a lot of variations in the application of this method. So I received general feedback, good and effective summary. So I can say I've made a significant improvement. I've understand how to use some articles. I still have some problems here. I need to work more, try to practice more in writing different essays and assignments. I had some problems with single and plural forms of words. I think it became better, but still sometimes I forget. Sometimes I forget about it. So I can say that I improved my grammar. I started to support previous sentences, so by using some arguments and examples, I started to write maybe not so very good, but in my opinion, good introductions and conclusions. And I paraphrased all sources, I think, very well. So the student score showed 2%. Generally, I can say that this writing assignment number 1 and writing assignment number 2 were very useful for me. I think it was the most interesting and useful part of this course, academic English course, because of very net feedback, because of feedback which I received from the professor, from the group, and from the group mates. So thanks everybody. Thank you everybody for watching this video and for giving feedback to your group mate. Thanks for watching. See you.